All right, I believe we are ready to rock and roll here. Let's get into um, get the link sent out a couple places, and we'll be ready to go. All right, all right. Okay, good and good. Okay, there we go. There. Let's get this. Make sure I can hear myself really quick. 1 second. Good. Thumbs up, and we should be off and ready to run. Okay. One more thing, and we are good to go. Awesome. All right. Well, good morning to everyone. Hopefully, you guys had a great holiday full of family and joy, and really just a great time to connect with people maybe you don't get to see all every day or all the time. So hopefully that was a fantastic time for you. It was for me as well. Made a couple stops. It was a good time. It was a good time. All right. So I'm kind of looking. I'm looking for a short right here. I'm gonna go sell right there. And might have been a little hasty here. But the reason for this is I have price rejecting at VWAP. We have a push up here, price rejects, it pushes back down. And let's see where price wants to go here. I'm only in one contract because the ATR is sitting at about 18. I could probably push this to 2 inside of our performance account here, our express account rather. But I'm going to be patient with this thing. Let's give this trade a second to work itself out. But with the ATR being as high as it is, I do want to give it just a little bit of room here. All right, so we're at about 185 right now, and ATR is sitting at last minute, it was at 19, almost 20. So solid enough for us to take some good trades. We'll see what happens. Good morning, Todd. All right, down 125, down 100. Let's see if this next candle can give us a little bit more room for us to push down here. Let's see if we can get price to fly down and get break even at least. Try to save face on this trade here because I'm not really seeing much. Okay. There was $30. I had a chance to get out there. Probably should have taken that. Okay, cool. Break even on that one. Not a great trade. Had a little bit more room on the meat there, meat on the bone rather. Sorry. Now let's see if I can do. Let me see if this. Okay, I think this should be version 7. As I think we've got the updated version on the predictive model when it comes to the buyers versus sellers. This won't be available to you guys just yet, but it is coming. Let me double check the account here. I'm pretty sure we made money on that. Let's double check though. Express account. Yep. All right, we'll take that. Okay. I'm pretty sure that we have the proper update here as far as the number of candles here and then the proper buyers versus sellers on I want to say Friday. Today's Thursday. On Tuesday, we had I had an update, but it wasn't like official and ready just yet. Like it was okay, but it wasn't what I was looking for. But this is a bit closer. All right, so now what we have here, obviously the same buyers and sellers tags, but we have this chart. Okay, and the chart now it's updating every time a candle closes with the average number of candles in a row that we should be expecting. All right, so and it's going to include the candle that has the tag on it. Okay. So how this would work, and I was right to go short right there. I just didn't hold my position long enough, just at my stop loss above VWAP and then held. Could have had a lot more on that trade. What we're looking to do, and we'll see if it updates after this candle here, because I believe this is the updated version that I've saved. There we go. Is let's go sell right there. Okay, price ran pretty fast away from me, but I think I got a pretty good spot here. Thinking about rejecting it at the middle line right here, and then price is going to push ideally back down to even, and then back down outside of our channel here. Now let's see how this actually plays out, but this is what I'm thinking. Okay, there's 110, there's 50, there's 100. Okay, 40, 30, minus 30. All right, so I think we're in a really good spot here. We gotta let price dance a little bit. If we can get 100 to 120 on this trade, that'd be sick. We'll take that and run. Come on. There we go. There's 70, 50. There we go. 220. Okay, we'll take 140 on that one. Not the cleanest of trades, but that puts us up 200 and actually we ended up getting about 200 bucks on that trade. We ended up getting $200 on that move, $230. That was actually really good price movement. So we got a pretty good fill on that in this account. So that was solid. All right, so now because we're inside of our performance account here, the Express account. You guys can see that, right? Yeah, you guys can see that. It says Express account. Okay, we're up $242 on the day. 1 second. And all we need to do is make 200 bucks every day. Well, for 5 days rather. And then we can get a payout from this account specifically. Now, because it's holiday time, because I think the market's going to be choppy here, I do want to log out of this account and get myself into a eval account. And I apologize, I didn't get up this morning and go for my run, so I am not as mentally sharp as I should be talking to you guys. So my apologies. But let's go this one or this one. Let's do this one. All right. So let's load up. Let's go. What's the ATR at? Let's shrink this back down. Okay, good. And that's probably fine. Let's go. ATR sitting at 17. We can afford to do 3 on this one. So we'll take that. All right. Which means that 60 times 3 times 20 is what we're going to need to figure out is going to be our point movement. 20 times 3 times, why did I say 6 for? 20 times 3. Okay, 60. All right, very good. All right, good, good, good. So that means if we're down, do that. Yeah, okay. Okay, 5 points, 300 bucks. All right, cool. Make sure I'm doing my math there. Sorry, a little shaky there. My bad, my bad. First payout, do you recommend Apex? Adam, Topstep. Make fun of the futures and take profit. Good morning, Ron. Good morning. We're gonna let Price dance here for a little bit, but good morning, Ron. Good morning, Beast. Happy to have you, buddy. Ron Bump, what a stud. So Adam, let me answer some of your questions, and then Dale, good morning to you, my friend. Yeah, on Monday's live stream, I said I'd go live Thursday, or maybe it was Tuesday's live stream. I said I'd go live Thursday, so I didn't think I need to clarify that in the group chat. My bad. Adam, let me answer your question here in just a second. And let me go ahead and jot down a couple things here just to 8 minutes or so. Okay. When it comes to getting your first payout, I recommend going with Topstep. And the reason for that is the structure and the way and the speed that you're able to get that payout is better, I think, than Apex. Okay, so with Apex, if you just look at the evaluation, Apex is superior. They give you more contracts and they have larger and smaller sized evaluations. So you can, with Topstep, you have 50K to 150, 50, 100, 150. With Apex, you have 25K, you have 50K, and you can go to 200, 250, and then 300K, I believe, as well. So you can really scale up. You also get a lot of contracts, more contracts than Topstep will give you in those evals. But that's just for the eval. Once you actually pass, then the rules get different. With Topstep, you just need to make 200 bucks 5 times, and then you can get a payout of 50% of your profit. And it doesn't matter how much money you make. If you make, like today, I made $240. If I make $201 or I make $2,000, doesn't matter. After I do that for 5 days, making over $200, then I can get a payout of 50%. With Apex, there are a lot of rules that fall in the way of this. Okay, so with Apex specifically, you have to trade for 8 days, which isn't a big deal, just trade for 8 days. 5 of those days, you have to make more than $100. Now, the $100 in 5 days, I think is better than Topstep. But because you have the additional 3 days of trading, which doesn't really make any sense. You don't have to be profitable, but you have to trade. Seems kind of weird. That's one. So if you just compare speed to payout, it's going to be Topstep is 5 days. Apex is at least 8. So at least 5 and at least 8. Okay, that's one. The other thing, and I think the biggest thing, the thing that holds Apex back, in my opinion, to Topstep specifically, is the consistency rule. With Topstep, there isn't a consistency rule. What that means is that if you make $1,000 and then you make $200, you can still get a payout. With Apex, there's a 30% consistency rule. And what that means is that if you have a certain set of profit in your account, let's say you make $2,000, your best day, your largest day cannot be 30% of that. So it can't be a lot higher than $600 on a $2,000 account gain. Okay. That's a huge deal because what that does is it really shrinks like your ability to make money. You have to make more than $100, but you can't make more than 30%. And so you're kind of in this middle area here. At least with Topstep, there is no ceiling. There's no top side, right? Ironically, no pun intended. But you have to make 200 bucks. So if you're trading micros, that can be kind of hard. But if you're trading with 2 contracts on NQ, that's pretty simple. The other thing with Apex that I just don't like is that they cap your payouts at a really small amount, and they do this for so many periods, and then eventually you can get all your money out. And actually, there are a lot of things. But the biggest thing is that you have your account is set at how much money you can actually pull out. That's a huge issue because if you make the money, you should be able to access it. And I get withholding 50% of it. Like all firms may or may not do that. I get that. It's you can let's say you they withhold 50%, but you made $10,000. Like, okay, well it's 5 grand. Well, if your account only allows for you to pull out 2,500 or $2,000, well then you have to go another 8 days to capture previous profit, and you're going to consistently be trying to catch up. And they say, well, after a certain amount of payouts, you'll be able to get rid of that rule. Yeah, kinda, except for the fact that they kind of prey on the fact that you're probably end up blowing that account. The last piece that I'll say is on this is Apex inside their performance accounts, Topstep's Express accounts, inside of the Apex accounts. Your drawdown, first off, if you hit it, you close your account. With Topstep, if you hit your daily drawdown, you're done trading for the day, but you get a whole nother day. And if you hit that drawdown, then you're done. But with Apex, you have they don't advertise it very well, but your like drawdown is very, very small. And on basically any of the accounts, they give you all the contracts you could want. There is no scaling plan, unlike Topstep. There's no scaling plan, but you have a very, very small drawdown. And once you hit that thing, you're done. Like the account's closed and you have to restart the entire process, pay your new fee and everything else. With Topstep, you at least get 2 chances to hit that drawdown before the account's closed. All right, so if you make a mistake, you hit it, okay, not a big deal. Then you come back again, and then you have the ability to bounce back and trade back. Okay, so those are the big differences. So for your first payout, I would recommend Topstep. But if you just want to trade a bunch of evaluations and see if you can pass in a day, and when Apex runs their sale, you knock yourself out, see what you can do. Nothing wrong with that. I just prefer Topstep over basically everyone else. Okay, so hopefully that helps answer that question. But that's my opinion. Now, that was like 5 minutes. Let's see here. Okay. Now, let's see. Absolutely using Blue Sky. You actually trade a live account instead of a sim account. Ron, I haven't heard of Blue Sky. There are a couple like that. I think there's like Perdia Capital is like that too. Um, you're welcome, Adam. You are very welcome. Let's see. Adam, you also said take profit and funded futures. I haven't heard of funded futures. I haven't seen much about them. Take profit is very similar. They're probably a little bit more like they're not my favorite for a specific reason. And let me explain that. With take profit, first off, you have to stay in the eval for a certain amount of days. I'm not a huge fan of that. If you have to stay inside of an account for a certain amount of days, like that's very limiting to a trader. I get what their goal is, but they could just make it a consistency rule and say like you can't make more than 20% of the account in any one day. Like, okay, that's fine. But having just a 5-day pass period is kind of weird. All right, so not a huge fan of that. The other thing that they don't tell you, because Take Profit does advertise you can get as many payouts as you want, so on and so on and so on. But you have to hit like there's a certain threshold, and it's pretty high. So once you pass the eval, then you get into the performance account, express account, whatever it's called. I've actually never gotten a express account, performance account with Topstep because of these rules. I think they're kind of ridiculous. But what they basically say is you have to make a certain amount of money first, then you can start pulling money out. But if your account dips below that threshold, so as an example, one of the accounts is like 3 grand. I think it's like the 50K account. You have to make $2,000 or $3,000. Let's just use $2,000 to be generous. So you have to grow your 50K uh, performance account, express account to 52,000. At 52,000, then anything over and above that, you can take profit on. So you can go ahead and take the money out, which is nice anytime. Now, once you are over that 52,000, let's say you have a trading day and you go down to 51,000, your account's blown. You've blown the account. You cannot have your account lower than that threshold. So, and they're tricky. They have consistency rules too, and they have denied payouts. They're just not as big as Apex. And so it's one of the reasons you don't hear a ton about them. But they do their own weird stuff too. And I'm not a huge fan. I think Topstep is just the easiest. The problem with them is you can't pass in a day. And so I never really understood why people would go with take profit or anyone else. I think Topstep's the easiest. So, flashing a buy signal, do you avoid trading in the middle and wait for a breakout? Ron, good question. So it's not flashing buy or sell. It's just saying buyers and sellers. And let me explain that. I'm glad you asked that, Ron. This. So I'm not waiting for, I'm not looking for a buy and a sell because the accuracy on these isn't what we're looking to trade. I'm going to go long right there. I think my entry was a little late. I could have grabbed that. Up 45, up 165, up 225, 240, 315. We are approaching VWAP. Okay. 270, 345. Whoa, whoa. 425. We'll take 510 on that one. Super solid trade. There we go. Up 465 on this account. So super solid trade on that one. Really good trade. I think we're going to hit VWAP here, and then we might have a chance to run past it. Now, Ron, to answer, Adam, I did code the indicator. Ron, to answer your question of do I wait for the channel, I'm not looking to trade these buyers, sellers tags specifically. I do, want to see price trending. What I want to see is like rhythmic patterns of where price is rejecting. Okay, so for example, this thing is just continuing to fly. I want to see a nice pullback below VWAP before I take this one. I like to see that. We had not as great fill right here. We could have had a little bit more money on that trade, which is fine, but we'll keep it going here. Ron, to answer your question, and maybe you're in this trade here, it wasn't a bad one, but it's turning into something. Trading at VWAP is very dangerous. That's why I don't want to take any trades right here. We'll wait for price to either reject and come back down or pull up, reject down like it kind of did here and really roll back up here. But Ron, here's what I would see, or here's what I am seeing is I have this buy tag right here. So I'm not looking to buy here. I just see that. I have a seller's tag right here. So I have buyer stepping in down here. I have seller stepping in up here. And I have price pulling down right here. So I have a buyer's tag. So it's kind of the same region, right? Here to here. I have a seller tag. It's just a red candle, not a huge deal. But then I have buyers. And now I see this trending. We probably could have caught this trade, but this one wasn't as obvious as this candle. So we have price basically rejecting all down here. I get a breakthrough of this level over here, pull back, boom, that's the trade, right? Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. But all I'm looking for is to see some market structure and I don't mean like big market structure. I don't mean like huge 4 hour, 1 day, 1 hour, 5 minute. I don't care about all that. What I'm really looking for, and here's price trying to hold view out. That's really good. What I'm looking for is just some symmetry here. Okay, so this would have looked like this, and in real time we could have just drawn like that. Resistance, support, break, run, boom. We're outside the channel, and then I trade from inside the channel to outside the channel. Super solid. And then any trade from here is just wait for pullback and then enter long. Now these would have been really tricky because we're at VWAP, so you gotta be patient. But that's all I'm looking for here. Buyers step in right here, no problem. Sellers step in right here, no problem. Buyers are in down here. Okay, I see something. Maybe we could get price to go lower. It doesn't, it goes up. This candle wasn't obvious because it was red, so it was like it was gonna chop. Then it exploded. This was our trade. Okay, let's see what we have over here. So now we have price officially above VWAP, which is great. Now let's see what we get here. Price previously chopped over here, right there. And it also rejected way up here as well. Okay, so there's that. So now here's what I'm seeing on the chart to the right is my average green streak. So every time I see a buyer's tag, I'm getting about 2.8 candles in a row. Every time I see a seller's tag, I'm getting about 1.48. So with my seller's tags, I'm averaging almost two. I'm averaging more likely one candle than two. With my buyer's tags, I'm averaging almost three. Right, I'm averaging more than two candles in a row. A lot of times three. So if we get a red candle right here, we'll see a seller's tag. That could be maybe two candles in a row at most. But the next time we get a buyer's tag, if it's got some movement, we could see two or three candles in a row, and that would give us some confidence here. Okay, that's how we'd read that chart right there. Let's see what we got here. Okay, pull back. That was like a pretty obvious trade. I don't know how much meat is on the bone in this trade, but price pulls back, hits our upper channel line, and then pulls off. Now I don't know how much room. That's 3 points, so not a whole lot right there. Up 180 bucks. That'd be a really choppy trade. Guys, I really appreciate all of you commenting and asking questions. This has been maybe the most fun live I've had in some time. So I really appreciate that. If you guys haven't already, make sure you like the channel or like the live stream and subscribe to the channel. Really helps build us up here. Is you have good place for re-enter? Adam, another good question. So not necessarily, not necessarily. So you have to see how price wants to respond to VWAP. Okay. And kind of the way that this works is sometimes price will use it as support or resistance. So I kind of like right in here, it's resistance, and then it's kind of support for this candle, support for these candles, and then it's resistance over here, and then price flies down. Price goes up, resistance, price flies down. Then price goes up again, breaks it, pulls back, and then we continue up. So VWAP is a magnet. VWAP is, it's going to attract price to it. It'll pull it or push it, but it will also reject price. Okay, so we could see, for example, price come way down here, and then price immediately like reverse back up. That doesn't mean you want to trade it, because we could also see price do something like this and just come straight down, right? And we would just not, that would not be a good trade. We would see price basically go up and then just come down and then hold up here and then go back down. And so that wouldn't be any fun either. So we'll see how price wants to respond to VWAP. We don't necessarily want to trade based on VWAP unless we think we have a really good edge. The one thing that I could have done with this trade here is I had price pull back. I got in and we got out somewhere up here. I probably could have let price get up to and through VWAP before taking. There's our big red candle. We'll see what that one wants to do here, but there's kind of what I was describing before. But it'd be more dramatic. It would come down another 4 or 5 points, and then it'd be really like it'd be a trend breaker. Now here's our chart. Here's what we're seeing here over the past 25 candles. We're seeing every time we get a buy tag, we get 3.6 candles in a row. So we're definitely in an uptrend. Every time we get a red sell signal, our seller's tag, we get 1.4 candles in a row. So there, I literally just described that. I might have to put that out as a clip so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But maybe from 21, is a lot of times you could, I am in this long. Ron, as long as you were in that long and didn't get smoked out by this big red candle, you should be in really good shape. Kind of like we were talking about before, let's see if we can get a pullback here. We would go short right there. Again, I don't want to dance with VWAP right here. I really don't care to play the game of this VWAP. I don't want to see this. I really don't. But we just talked about this where we have price running through VWAP, using it as support, and we could have bought right here for sure. We definitely could have, and that would have been a really good trade had you bought at VWAP and gone away for sure. Every time you would have bought at VWAP, as long as you're okay with some drawdown, it would have worked out for you. It's a very risky trade because price could slice through VWAP, and then there is just nothing else on the other side. So we got to be careful. I don't like trading at VWAP, but I use it as just a mental place for price. Okay, usually we know we're in a really choppy day if price is dancing at VWAP. Okay, we usually know that. Do I only trade the 1 minute? Mike, that is correct. I only trade the 1 minute. I might take a peek at the 5 minute or take a peek at the 15 or 20 or 15 or 30 minute as time goes on, the 5, 10, 15 mostly. But I only trade the 1 minute. It makes it really easy. I had multi charts up and it was just too much information for me to really decide. And ultimately, I'm in these trades for 5 to, I don't know, 8 points, maybe 10 points at most. And so a lot of these trades, I don't need a whole lot of information to take these positions. So this would be a really good trade here. Pullback, gone. Okay, so the Santa rally maybe is going to continue here. Let's see what we got. So markets are down today. 10-year is up to 4.6. So interest rates aren't coming down anytime soon. Okay. Some stocks are up. All right, we'll see what we got here. All right. Happy to have all you guys here. Happy to have all you guys here. Let's see. Here we're trading since the live 5 for 5. Nice. Trading 2 contracts. Almost. That's awesome. Ron, that's sick, brother. Like, Ron, congrats. That's awesome, dude. Good, great work. Great work. It helps to understand the strategy a bit and know what's going on. But that's awesome. Outstanding. Out freaking standing. Let's see what Price wants to do here. Yeah, let's say we got a top. I'll draw this out in just a second here. I'll just put it here. 1 second. Okay. Let's see what this red candle wants to do first, and then we'll look at it here. Good. Good, good, and good. All right. Great work, Ron. 2 contracts on $1,400 is nice. That's nice work. That's great work. Okay. So let's see what we have here. See what we got. We have Price really trying to break above this level right there. It's not exact, but it's pretty close. I'll move it up just a little bit. Right there is the level. And we have Price holding down here and holding right in here as well. So I'm seeing Price go up. I still like longs a lot in this run right here, but it could get a little choppy to come back down to VWAP if possible. We could get Price to maybe come down halfway, somewhere in between. I could see that happening, but we're gonna find out. Let's see what we got here. Okay. All right. On a 1-minute chart, what you have to remember or keep in mind is that your support and resistance will get pushed past a little bit. Like that, like it's very difficult to call like the very peak of a move. Okay, very, very hard. And so you have to be okay with price sliding just a little bit above previous support and resistance before it pulls back officially. So in this case, this is a whole point. So that's pretty good. There goes price rejecting again. Looks like price really rejected like this level right there. That was kind of the level it was finding before. This was at 841, so almost an hour ago. Really good there. So super solid. Okay, we like that. Very nice. Let's see what we got here. What I'm really noticing here is, okay, we have price kind of just flattening out. We haven't really gone up or down really. We're just sideways since basically these 2 candles here, just haymakers back and forth. Price flying down, price flying back up, just back and forth, body blows. But this right here is sideways. Now we have sellers stepping in up here, and we have buyers holding down here. Okay, so if I draw this out, so sellers up here. So people are selling up here, okay, and then they are buying. Yeah, this green trading view. We have buyers down here, okay. So we're basically waiting for price to figure itself out. Okay, we're kind of sitting in this spot right here. Let's just move it over. All right, so somewhere in this region is where we're seeing things. So buyers are in here in this area right here. Sellers are up here. So price gets up here, they sell, push price back down. Price gets down here, buyers step in, push price back up. So we're not going to stay here forever. Obviously, like price will move eventually, and then that's the trade we want to take. So we're seeing, okay, buyers down here. We're seeing a bunch of these wicks in a row. Wick, 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 wick. Okay, cool, fine, whatever. Doesn't matter. We're not going to trade any of this. I'm not holding it long or holding it short. I don't want to see that. I want to see the breakout of this range. Okay, that's what I want to see. Or what I want to see could be a consolidation, but a moving consolidation. So something like this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then this. Like I would like to see some of this at least. We're gonna get that. So we'll see what happens here. Let's see what we got. I didn't even check to see if let's see. All right. Unemployment came out today and it was better than expected. Okay. So no news for us to trade today. The market is buying at the moment till 21.749 pips. 21.749. That's a long way away. Yeah, that's a long time ago. We'll see. We'll see. Sergino, we will certainly see. All right, so I kind of like, let's see if we can get price to make a new move here. I kind of like this downward movement to VWAP. It might happen in this one candle. I can see that. That's only 12 points, which the ATR is sitting at 11, so it's not unreasonable. So let's see what we have here. Let's get rid of all these drawings. Okay. All right, so you guys can probably see this now. This is really easy to see. Here's that trend line that we're kind of trading off of, it feels like. Didn't really get a touch here. Price pushes down, rejects. Price touches down here again, rejects. We roll back up. We'll see. And then you could also see this one as well, right? So this high down to here, like we can see that too. I don't know how people trade that stuff, but that's kind of what I'm seeing. Price sloping down, so we're not really making new highs, but price is definitely making higher lows, which is good. So we have some long action here. And again, I really like a long right here. I would want to see price pull back deeply and then go. I just don't believe this area right here is so strong. Like we could finally break through it right here. But if it does break through, then we can just wait for the next candle and trade that one, right? A lot of times trading comes down to, let's save it right like that. Okay. A lot of times trading comes down to having like a scarcity mindset. The best traders in the world understand that there's going to be another candle for you to trade. And so maybe not catching this one because it could have rejected right here and you could have been down big, just like it did right here, is fine. There will be more candles and there will be more really good trades to take that we can be a part of. And so we have to just be patient. If this is actually a move, then we'll wait for a pullback. We'll get in and we'll try to catch ourselves, 5 points or so and call it a day. Let's see. Okay, so no big wick anywhere. Good. Pullback. Wait for the pullback. We're gonna get it. If we don't get it, we don't get it. If we don't get it, we don't get it. Maybe somewhere into here. Okay. I don't like the price action just yet. Let's go long right there. It's kind of aggressive trade. I would have liked to get in down here, but I wanted to see price confirm that it wasn't going to go lower first. Not that I got that confirmation, but it's enough, it looks like. It's 105, 90, 60. I might just take 100 bucks on this trade if I can get it again. Yeah, this is kind of what I thought might happen. This price might push up again. Now let's see. Let's see how much buyers are believing in price going up from this point here, or if we're going to have more selling in this area right here. Okay, even again. 150, 210. Here we go. 390. Ooh, we'll take 405 on that. Yep. All right. P&L, you guys can see that here. Let me see. Here, up almost 900 bucks on the day, so pretty good there. Okay, super solid trade there. Exactly what we were looking for. It was really ugly as a trade. It wasn't the smoothest. We were down a little bit, and it eventually then came back. So that was nice, but we'll figure that out. Okay. What time was that one? 34, 33. Okay. So really good there. We've taken 3 trades today, I believe. So really solid. Evan, what exactly is your average true range? Ron, thank you for answering that question. Megan, another good question. How many contracts? 3. You can see it at the top left of my screen here. It says 3 right here. You see that? 3 contracts. Average true range, SSJ. What that means and what that stands for, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys like the live stream and subscribe if you haven't. It really helps build the channel, and I really appreciate having all you guys here today. A lot of you guys here. Really great. ATR, average true range, it basically is a measurement of how much price in a specific candle has moved, okay, over a length of time. And so the ATR, let's go here. Let me just do like this. Let's do maybe make it a nice endpoint here. So we'll do 35. Okay. So the ATR, the average true range, is a measurement of movement per candle, okay, over a set number of candles. So ooh, if this candle would have gone green first, I would have taken it. So in this next candle here, we'll look for a short. So in this case, we have the ATR, I have a 7. So I'm measuring 7 candles. What is the average range of those 7 candles? Right now it's about 12. So I'm expecting about 12 points of movement per candle is what I'm seeing. Now this candle here might be a little bit larger than 12 points. It's at 15 and it moved even further. So it's an average. The reason I use that is I want to know if the ATR is at like 25 or 30 on a 1 minute NQ chart. We don't see that often, but when we do, price is flying. And so we want to risk less money on those times. When the ATR is lower, we can risk more money because the movement of price, although it might look like it's large, is actually quite small. So right now the ATR is at about 12, 13. That's about where I'd like it to be. I'm comfortable with that amount of risk. We can see a lot of price fluctuation, but the ATR is simply a measurement of price. All right, so this would ordinarily be a short. I would sell right here. I would still click sell. The reason I'm not is VWAP. Okay, I have VWAP right here, and price will use VWAP as a support level. It will use it as resistance. It will use it as a target for people to exit their trades. There are a ton of ways that VWAP could get used. And so I don't want to necessarily sell into this just yet, although this is a very, very, this is like the perfect trade setup. Price pushes down, reverses up a little bit, then we could have sold. But I don't know if price is going to get beyond this level here. And that's why I didn't take this trade because it's a very easy setup, very easy setup. But I don't know if price is going to get below VWAP here. And it just might not happen on this candle. And I don't know how much drawdown I have to take in order for that to be the case. And you can see buyers and sellers trading blows back and forth. We get big red candle, and it looks like we're going to get a decent size green candle, big red green, big red green. So a lot of action going on right now. Let's see what we got. Now the buyers chart here would tell me to go long because every time we get a buy signal, we're averaging about 3 candles in a row. Every time we get a seller's tag, we're getting about 1.5, so basically 2 candles in a row. So the chart would say go long here, and I could go long on this candle and the next one on average. I'm not taking that trade just yet because I see we're at VWAP, and I just want to be patient. But what this chart does show me though is that okay, we're still in an upward trending market. When these flip over, and it looks like we're having more red candles in a row than green, well then we're nowhere in a downtrend. But right now we're still in an uptrend, even though it's been flat and we kind of erased a lot of the movement. Let's see what price wants to do here. Now we talked about having kind of a consolidated chart here, a consolidated price movement. We kind of have this, but on its head, right? We had price reverse up. This is down, back up here. Reject that VWAP, and if we could see something like that, we could get some trades inside of a range. So let's see. All right, so there's a green candle. It was ugly, but there was a green candle. Okay, so this thing is spot on here. It's giving me the averages and it's doing a pretty good job. So we'll see. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Ron. Really good trade there. We'll see how many more we have left for today. So far, so good. So far, so good. True range indicator, counting candles, point candle moves. Is true. I'm gonna answer this question above here. Hold on. The streak indicator is counting candles or points. It's counting candles. Counting candles. It is counting the candle. The points, this is the ATR, honestly. But we're just counting candles. The amount of points, I didn't want to measure that because I would have to include these like upward wicks here. And even though price did move up this high, I get that did happen. I don't know that I want to say, okay, if we get a green buyer's tag, we're going to move 18 points because that 18 points could be a net 2 if it moves up or down 16 and then up 2 for you. So I don't want to use that. Now here's price testing VWAP again. And this isn't going to be the trade just yet. This isn't the trade just yet. We're waiting. And then when price breaks down below and it holds, then we'll want to see price reverse up just a little bit. Then we'll take that trade. So let's go. So we want to see price like this, then come up, then go down, assuming VWAP would be like this. Okay. So we want to see that price action next. And until we see that, we don't need to worry about it. All right. Now let's say I adjust the 25 back to like 10. What happens? Okay, that's better. Okay. This is a little bit clearer. We're getting about 2 candles per. That's a little bit clearer. I'm trying to figure out how many measurements I want to have in a row. Um, on this chart, I'm thinking maybe 10 to 20, somewhere in there, maybe 15. It makes sense, but we'll see. Knowing that we would have maybe 2 candles in a row or 1 candle or 3 candles in a row is very good information. We can type of bias on that. A long makes sense right here, going long right there. I don't want to take this trade just yet. Price is really consolidating, honestly, between here and here. We have a couple wicks on the upside and the downside, but in all honesty, this is where we're consolidating to. And so until we see price break up to the upside or break down to the downside, we just need to wait and be patient. There isn't a whole lot to trade right now. It just isn't. Um, Ron, I'm not going to use it as a amount of for a duration of trade. I really want to see it for a couple things. I want to see it, number one, be for just trend. So if I have more green than red, then I know I'm looking for longs, better at least. And the second thing is, on average, how many times have we seen a seller's tag and then the next candle following it? If it's 1 or 1.4 or anything below 1.5, then we're seeing just one candle. Like, not great, right? I really want to understand that a little bit better. If we're seeing, in this case right here, the average green buyer's tag is 2 and the average is red is 1.7, we're averaging about 2 candles per. Okay, if it's above 1.5, then it's hit 2 in a row more than it's hit 1 in a row. So it, I'm using it as information, but I don't want to say like I'll get into this trade and then I'll hold for 2 candles, because had you gotten into this trade right here at like the open, you would you'd be up 2 points right now, right? It would be, and you had to take all this drawdown just for this, right? So we still want to trade responsibly, but I want to know every time I get one of these tags, like how choppy the market. If these are both like 1.5 or 1.4, 1.3, I know it's super choppy. If we have it like we did before, one was like 3.5 and one was like 1.5. Okay, we're in a very strong uptrend. So every time we get a new buyer's tag, we should be very excited to try and take those trades, to which we have and have really good right here, good here and good there. Um, and as you know, you guys will get access to this when I update it. Hopefully over the weekend I can get this done and then roll it out to you guys on Sunday or so. But once it's officially updated and you guys have used it for a little bit, then you'll be able to use this table however you see fit to help you with your trading specifically. Personally, though, I want to trade off of support and resistance. I want to see a pullback and then go. Right here, we kind of have price chopping around. I just don't have enough conviction on either side to really say where we're going to go here. Let's be patient. RJB, what's good, my friend? Happy to have you in. Sergino Broker, Tradeovate. We're trading a Topstep prop firm. How far you look back to the average? Ron, I'm measuring 10 right now. Could be 25 before, but we'll see. What source do you use for VWAP? Pretty sure just closed. I'm pretty sure. SSJ just closed. That's the most important. It really wouldn't matter what source you use right now. It's been pretty flat, so not a whole lot going on at this point. Misty, really good question. Are you going to have any classes? So today's going to be tricky. So no class today, no class on Friday, because I have stuff to do tonight. But then Friday it'd just be a dud altogether. Monday, I think we'll get back at it for the coaching, so we'll be able to have some of that. I might not be live on Monday. I have to got a commitment I have to be. So I might not be live on Monday. We'll see. But if I'm not, then we'll definitely have coaching. We'll definitely have some coaching that Monday night, especially when I roll out the update. Like, the update will just be part of that coaching. So I'll put together a new curriculum, of course. That takes a lot of time to do, but put that together. And then maybe we can go live on Monday. We could talk through it a little bit. And then maybe on Tuesday as well. So we'll play it by ear. Last time we had coaching, there wasn't a lot of people who attended. And so the difference between doing a live coaching and me making a video, if only 2 people show up, isn't like really that effective. So we'll see how the live coaching progresses. Obviously, we need to do it, probably 50 to 100 times before we make a decision on it. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll definitely have some coaching around the updates, though. And you will be able to turn off the buyer sellers tags. You will be able to toggle those on and off, and the chart if you want to. One second here. Swallowed some water wrong or something, I think. All right. So yeah, maybe Tuesdays trading Heikin candles with your indicator. Mike, I have not. To me, what's really important about trading is your entry, and Heikin candles do a really good job of helping you see trend. Um, Unfortunately, it's very difficult to find your entry. I found with Heikin. Now, I haven't dedicated hundreds of hours to trying to learn it, so no. But it just doesn't give me the edge I'm looking for. Ultimately, I like to scalp, and I'm looking for 5 to 10 points pretty much consistently. Um, and so Heikin candles, could they help with that? Yeah, but it's better just to use traditional candles. Now, if I'm looking to catch like these big old trends, then maybe they could be effective. And I know there are traders who do use Heikin candles. I just have never gotten like I've never understood it. It's never really connected for me. I need to see where price is at all times, what it's done, and kind of what it's up to right now. But Heikin has never really made sense to me. This could be a long run here. Let's be patient and see what we get. We need a big pullback though. Nope. Okay, no pullback. So let's see if we have price. Let's see if price can hold above that level right there. And the reason I picked that level is we had basically a wick right here, and really it's like this level should be right there. If price can hold above this, then we should have something decent. Let's see. Let's see. Whole lot of nothing. Okay. Okay. Oof. All right. Okay. So nothing for us to trade right there. Here's the zone that I'm seeing. Let me know if you guys see the same thing. Is basically in here. Every time price gets up in here, we're rejecting. This is a big sell zone right here. Every time we get down here, we're buying. Okay, and anywhere down here, we're buying. So this is kind of our free range region. We could probably trade this with safety, but we're gonna find out what price wants to do here because it won't stay here forever. But if it does, then we just won't trade. But if it doesn't, we'll try to catch ourselves a nice little breakout. We'll see. I don't know. This is interesting. We're inside the channel, and the channel is going to encapsulate a lot of like the choppiness that we're looking to try and avoid. But some of this choppiness isn't really choppy. It's actually very predictable. But this is not. We've had a lot of like if you called this your resistance level at 94, then you had to basically take in about 4 points of drawdown first before you got price to come back down, you know, for another 4 to 8 points. So that would actually have been a bad trade just to sell when price got right here. That wouldn't have been a bad trade at all. It would have just been ugly for a little bit, and it would have looked dangerous, but it wouldn't have been. All right, now you guys can see our average green red streak has kind of flipped a little bit. So average red's 1.5, which is good. Average green's 2. And all that means is that we're getting 2 green candles on average per buyer's tag and 1.5 per seller's. That number has not been this close in a long time. So let's see what happens here. Excuse me. Oh. Can you explain the direction and when candles opens? How you get direction when the candle opens? Yes. Okay, Ron. So it's very, I think, one of the more intuitive things when it comes to trading, especially for a scalper. Again, any rule when it comes to trading can be wrong at any given time. So take everything kind of as an on average. But when a candle opens, the direction it moves in initially, typically it's going to go the opposite. Okay, especially if we're in a period of time where price is sloping one way or sloping the other way. Okay, now there are times where you have a candle and there is just there's no wick on the top or bottom, kind of like this candle right here. That's one. Um, This one right here, that's 2. Like this one, kind of the same thing, right? No upper wick, straight down. But for the most part, when price opens up, the direction it goes in first, typically it's going to come back and finish the opposite. That's why I say wait for pullbacks, because if a candle really is going to go long, it should give you a little bit of a pullback. There are very few times where price opens and doesn't pull back and it just runs. So like look at a short right here. Let's go short right there. Right here. Take that trade right there. Let's get this junk off my screen for a second. Okay, we're up 15 bucks. We're down. We're up. We're down. Let's see if price can hold and run down here for me. Okay, we're up. We're down. We're up. Down. 45, 75, 120. What's my ATR at? 10. All right. Let's see if this trade can work out for me. I think it might, but this is getting a little hate. It's getting a little ugly for me. Thought price would just boom, boom, but it's not going to. All right, so I'm down a couple points. There's 4 points there. Maybe we need to get out of this one. Let's see. See if we're waiting for a pullback. No pullback. Waiting patiently. Okay, 495 on that one. Damn. All right, so we gave back a little bit of profit there. Still up 400 bucks on the account. 336 actually. Gave back a little bit of profit. Profitable today, but that was our first loss actually. No fun. All right, I need to stop teaching how to trade while I'm trying to trade. But Ron, that was a bad example of exactly what I told you. I thought would not happen. So the exact opposite. Like I said, every rule that you learn, just be ready for it to be wrong. This candle opens up with no bottom wick here and just runs. That's hard to predict. I thought the thing would open up, and we entered right around here or so. It did pull back. It was profitable for $45 or $75, and just took off. So bad trade there, I would say. And the price action is very definite. Basically, price peaked down here, and then the candle opened right here, and we never saw lows here. Now, honestly, right here would have been the trade to go in and go long on. Just didn't happen. I didn't take that trade because I just took a loss, and I like to be very careful about taking the opposite trade right after I take a loss. Because if I take a loss once, I'm not seeing the price. I'm not seeing price correctly, and so if I take another trade, the odds of me seeing it correctly again aren't going to be great. But the theory or the idea is, Ron, that anytime price opens up in a certain direction, for the most part, it's going to finish the opposite. So we'll see what some of these candles want to do. This one opened up green, then went red a little bit, then it goes green. Now, trend obviously is going to be more important than anything. This candle was no trend. Like, this was not a trend candle. This one kind of was, and then obviously now we have price like screaming up, which is great. So maybe we have some more movement here that we can trade. But this was a shot that just didn't work out. That happens. That happens. I think I got to see that, which is great because that's annoying to me. Actually, as a matter of fact, I think every time I've tried to teach that wick theory, that candle wick theory, I've like lost money on it. I think every time. I think every time I try to teach it. It works because we're waiting for pullbacks, so we can't just get in at the open. The reason we want to wait for pullbacks, let's see if we can get a long up here. We need price to pull back here first, and then we'll get in this trade. Is that the pullback we're gonna get? We'll go long right there. Bad fill, but I like my position. Let's see if we can get to the top. If we can get up to here, right there. See if we can get up to that 11 spots, 4 points for us. 60, no. Market's not moving a whole lot for us. Okay, I'll take a break even on this one here. Let's see if we can get it. All right, we'll take $30 on that. Not a huge fan of this movement, and the ATR is starting to really trail off on us. We're down in the 9s now, which means I have to use more contracts in order to hit these trades. Let's see if price can get to that 211, 2211 spot, 22011. It's struggling to, and that's kind of what I was seeing here too. Is this thing could get there? Don't get me wrong, it definitely could get there. Not on that candle, and I really didn't want to risk price flying down, so it almost hits. Got pretty close. Boom. All right, hits cool. So our target was correct. I should stay in the trade long enough, which is good. So we're seeing things right. We just didn't stay in long enough. I'll live with that all day. All right. So I marked this level because we basically had a double wick right here and reverse down. Same thing. So kind of a wick up here and reverse down. This was what I was afraid of. I didn't want to see price hit that level or get close to it and then reverse down like that. That's why I got out of the trade. So I left a little bit on the table, but I definitely removed all my risk by not taking that trade, or not staying in that trade. So give and take. Trading is a give and take sport. You have to give a little to get a little, and sometimes you have to you have to get a little to give some. So let's see what this wants to do here. I'm not super aggressive on taking a short right here. I just seen too much price bouncing. Okay, so this candle opens up red. Okay, you guys see that? Opens up red. It peaks green again. So let's see what this one wants to do. This would be a pivotal candle. Try saying that fast. Pivotal candle. All right. So this is closer to the wick theory I was explaining to you, Ron, which is opens up red, finishing green. Now the reason or the way that I want to use it is just to protect myself. I don't want to get into these trades as price is running because then I could see price pulling all the way back on me, and even if it pulls back like to the open, that could blow up an account, or at least give back all the profit that I have on the day. And I really don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. And so that's why I like to wait for a pullback. Like this could be a nice long right here. I'm just not taking it. I don't know why I don't want to. I just didn't want to. That's a 5 point move, 6 point move, seven. That's a really good move. I just didn't like it. I don't like trading when we're at these these highs right here. Okay. Sometimes it works, but I don't have enough conviction. We got a big range though. This is good. So 17 points. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. We'll see. We will certainly see. But anytime price opens up like it has, so we opened up, price flew up, then it pulled back down. We had a chance to maybe take some shorts right there. And then it gets choppy, right? So price got real choppy in here. This is where a couple things come into play. Number one is we need to be disciplined and not take trades. I wanted this bad boy like bad. Like the buyer stepped in right here, and then seller stepped in and put price down. What I should have seen here is the fact that buyers, and this is something that I'm going to continue to work on with you guys. What do you think about Ichimoku clouds? AB, I don't really know how to read them. They're fine if you know how to read them. I don't know how to read them, and so I don't use them. If the things that you trade should be the things that you understand. If you don't understand something, then just don't use it. Obviously, you have to practice with it, but I've tried Ichimoku and I was just saying, whatever. And I found that I'm more of an in and out of a trade type of trader than a hold for a long time. Like if I'm going to hold for a long time, I'll just buy shares or maybe like longer dated options, but I'm not going to day trade or trade intraday and hold for a few minutes to an hour. So that's not really my style. Um, but what I should have seen right here is the fact that can I get like an arrow or like the little arrow things? Not a fucking emoji. I guess we'll have to live with whatever I can get over here. I swear they used to have like arrows. Like you could like put a little arrow. I don't know where they went. Okay. We had buyers step in right here. We had buyers again step in right here. Now, this to me is interesting because buyers are accepting lower prices to go long on. I should have seen that. Then we have buyers step in on that trade that I lost. Not yet, but close. We had buyers step in right here. I should have seen this. This I should have seen. The fact that buyers are buying and we're seeing these lows are higher than previous. I should have seen that coming. Price rolls up. Okay, no problem, no trade right there. Then we have buyers accepting price right here, which means they think this is a good value as well. Should have seen that because the very next and pay attention. The sellers, all the sell tags, okay, happen all kind of in the same region. Okay, they all happen right here, except for this one. All happen right in here. Very interesting. So sellers are basically saying we're not really looking for price to go above this. Okay, no problem. But buyers are thinking, well, if I have a green candle right here, like price is probably going to roll past this. So this right here shouldn't have been looking for a short. I should have been waiting for this candle right here. Basically, there's a bunch of buyers at this level right here. Boom, price rolls up. Wait for the long, and then this candle probably would have been the entry if I could have gotten it. because I wouldn't have lost money on here. I would have probably been a little bit more aggressive right here, and then that trade would have panned out for us very well. So should have seen that, but I didn't. And we have the same kind of thing going on right here. So another thing to look at, we have sellers basically stepping in and selling this region right there. But I have buyers accepting these higher prices. So they're buying and they're saying, I'm willing to take a higher price for this asset because I think it's worth more than what it currently is. Now we're going to see what price wants to do here. But that's how I'm seeing this is I'm basically saying, okay, price can't get above this level. It's going to try, it's going to try, it's going to try, and we'll see what happens after that. I'm profitable. Found my ears very interesting, but I already mastered Ichimoku. Very good. AB, very nice. If you mastered something, then just stick with that. If you master something, stick with that. There's no reason to deviate from something that already works. Um, let's see here. There's no sense in deviating from something that you already know that works for you and that you see very well. Trading is a pattern recognition game, and it doesn't actually matter like what indicators you decide to or not to use. At the end of the day, the thing that's going to be the most profitable for you is what you should use. So very good. That's good to hear. All right, so let's see what we got here. We're at 10:06. Let's see if this thing wants to. Let's see. So I've got buying right here. I've got buyers up here. I have kind of the same. All right. So yeah, I don't know. This is interesting here. I got the same level of rejection up here. That could be a short right there. I'm not going to take it. That could be. I got the same level right here. Like basically every time in a row. Every time price pops up, reject. Pops up, reject. But what I am seeing though is at these red candles. It looks like on average are a little bit larger. Okay, I'm seeing that as well. So maybe a pullback right here. We'll see. We'll see. We will definitely see. But we're not getting a bunch of red candles in a row. We're just getting like strong rejections. We're getting sellers to sell every time price gets up to that 22,012 level, 22,013, 11, 22,011. The price is just rejecting at it and saying, nope, not going higher than this. But we will. We'll either go lower than VWAP or we'll go higher than 2211. We won't trend here forever. Okay, price opens up red. Look for a long right there. Let's see. Nope. Let's see if we got if there's a little bit of drawdown here. Let's see if that was the case. What was that? I don't like that sound. Maybe it certainly could. This price could do basically anything. Let's see what we got here. I think price is going to move up too. I just don't know when it's going to happen. Okay, so that would have been a good and profitable trade. It just would have taken a little bit longer than I would have liked. Let's see if price can rip outside of that 2211 level. Okay, now we have real chop. 1.7, 1.6, we got real chop. All right, let's give it a little bit more time, and then maybe we'll have to call it because there isn't a whole lot going on right now. Okay. Hmm. All right. So a lot of chop right here, a ton, and price certainly could break out. But anytime we have basically back and forth buyer seller tags, we know we're in super chop. Look at our streak here, 1.8, 1.5. We know that we don't have a whole lot of price movement. Um, you know you're in choppiness when every candle looks like it could be the one that's going to break out. That's how you really know you're in some chop. And so let's see if price can hold above this level here. It got there, but can it hold? Okay, good. Now, historically, what we've seen is a new high and then an immediate rush down of price. So let's give this one some time here to really figure itself out. See what we got. See what we got. Really appreciate all you guys joining the live. Happy to have all you guys. If you haven't already, make sure that you like the live stream and subscribe to the channel. Helps build the channel up here, and we really want to do that. All right, so no hold up here. Okay, so nothing's held up there. Fine. Okay, price price tries it again, rejects. Now it's not closed yet. We have a lot of time, but let's see what price wants to do here. Every time we've gotten up here, we've tried it and then we've pulled back, and then let's see if we can get price to fill this wick. Now remember, another theory, an idea is that wicks get filled. Okay, so we've got this big old price action from here to there, roughly. Like we know these wicks will get filled. Okay, we know that. So we know price eventually at some point will cross this and run. This looks like it's not going to be the time if price is just going to trend back down, but we're kind of moving up here. This is hard to see. We should be looking for longs this entire time, but figuring out where to go long has been very tricky because we haven't gotten a ton of opportunity at all. Okay, so there goes price back up. So again, we talked about wicks get filled. That thing almost got filled. We're just shy. That's the amount of space we need right there. So we're gonna wait. But I like what I'm seeing here. If we're gonna get a green candle and then a big wick down and then a red candle, like that's not gonna be easy to trade at all. It's gonna be very difficult to trade, especially because these red candles could go for two in a row. And if we get two of those in a row, it could be ugly. Let's see. Man, I didn't get a lot of sleep last couple days, so recovering today's gonna be fun. But taking some good trades. We're three, four for five, I think. Some good trades here today. Let's see what we got. Hmm. Waiting. Okay. Okay, we filled that wick. That's good. And now we have price pulling back, pushing up. Yeah, we're gonna move up here. I know that. I know that's for a fact. I just don't know at the pace. Okay, we're at 7. Okay. All right, so we got price moving up here a little bit, which is good, but ATR is officially below 7, and that's just not going to be a place where we want to be spending money on these trades right now, especially with how choppy it is. If we get into more of an open range where prices flying up and down, and it doesn't matter which way, we could trade that. But right now, we've been trading when the ATR has been above 20, above 10 a lot, and so it being at 7 is going to be probably a good time for us to call it for today. So a good hour in like 10 minutes or so of trading. So really good there. A lot of good trades. 4 for 5 today. We had one big win and one big loss. I think the win encapsulated the loss, so that's good. So keeping the risk reward high. Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. And what we'll do is um, some coaching on Monday and Tuesday, just so I can have it out there. We'll see how far we get with the updates on the model, and we'll go from there. All right. So awesome, Misty. That's really great to see. Happy to have that and see that as well. Really appreciate you mentioning that. Had a couple really good traders knock out some money today, so that's good. All right, Megan, I will instead of Apex use Topstep. Megan, big candle there. What's ATR? AB Woo. We'll talk about it in the future. Tune in on tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central, and we will be there. You guys have a great rest of your day. Again, happy Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll keep crushing it. Peace.